Welcome to the Orange Peripheral, episode 22. We're here to talk about February.
Who would have figured that the shortest month of the year had the most shit going on?
No kidding. You want to kick things off?
Well, sure, why not? Do you want to start with just topics or games?
Let's hit topics, because there's actually tons of games that came out in February. I was actually really surprised.
Alright, well, we'll just start with the, news headlines.
In news today...
In news today, sad news, GT's shut down.
Yeah, that was kind of abrupt and out of nowhere.
Kinda dickish when you think about it.
Well, yeah, and it was kind of explained to me that, when I read a couple articles about game trailers, it was literally just some guy walking into the office and saying, oh, by the way, we're closing. And then that was it.
Like tonight. No, 2-week notice or six months to get everything out of here and stop all assets. Now it's just, hey, we're going offline tonight.
Yeah, and as soon as I heard that, announcements were going everywhere. News travels fast on the Twitterverse. So as soon as it got to me, I immediately went to game trailers, and they even said, come visit our last live stream at this time. I was like, oh, come on! That just came out of nowhere! How could you do that?
They said that they felt like they've been going increasingly irrelevant, because when they came out, it was 2002, and YouTube hasn't been out yet, and so putting all these game trailers on here was a big thing on this budding new internet that was still young at the time.
Right.
But, for it to just suddenly shut down like that, it feels like taking your favorite teddy bear and throwing it in the trash, saying, okay, time to grow up. You ever play with that thing for years anyway? It's like, well, just give me a few months to say goodbye to, maybe think about it.
Soften the blow, maybe.
Yeah,
because I've been watching game trailers for a very long time. It's what got me into a bunch of the games I'm into now, because 1, I was able to see the trailers, and 2, it also got me into Screw Attack.
I could think of a bunch of sites that are still up and running that are ancient relics of the past that nobody hardly uses anymore.
IGN, GameSpot.
MySpace, Neopets.
Oh, MySpace is still alive?
I think.
Oh, wow.
Last I checked it is. I don't know.
Well, time to do some investigating.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Wow.
And it looks like iTunes.
MySpace has always been trying to be a music thing for a while now, since everybody jumped ship to Facebook.
I guess.
Because of the ability to put playlists in there, whatever. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Back to GT. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that they retroactively gave Bloodborne a 10 out of 10?
Retroactively?
Yeah.
So they went back and said, hey, Bloodborne's pretty amazing?
No, they just changed the score to a 10 shortly before they went off.
So I guess they're just not allowed to give 10s. I always hate the rating system for certain places, but...
Bloodborne was its first and only perfect score.
Wow.
Because when they reviewed it, it was unpatched, but they did what good AAA companies should do, and patched their game up to make it damn near perfect, or as perfect as they could get, and then put the DLC on top of that to make it even more almost near damn perfect. So they gave it a 10, I guess.
No, that'll work. It just happened to happen. That's kind of like their final death rattle. It's like, I want to tell you one thing before I die. Bloodborne is a perfect 10.
We already knew that!
But it was still nice to hear from somebody, because a lot of people were giving a lot of praise to Bloodborne, and for good reason. Speaking of which, I need to jump back into that.
Rest in peace, 2002 to 2016. It was a great run, and the internet would have been totally different and would not be the same without you.
I agree. Auf Wiedersehen, game trailers.
So anyway, back to good news.
Yeah, exactly. There is another good news. This is the only other one that I have. The Pokemon franchise finally reached 20 years old on February 27th with a brand new announcement. Imagine that.
Don't I fucking feel old.
Yeah, I do too.
Not only have I been with Pokemon since the beginning, I actually got a promotional videotape from Nintendo warning us about Pokemon, pretty much. They're saying, guess what, kids? There's gonna be games, there's gonna be toys, there's gonna be anime, there's gonna be fucking everything. This is Pokemon, it's gonna be crazy. And then I picked up Pokemon Blue, and turns out they were fucking right. It was crazy awesome.
Yeah, I know. Again, I think I've said this in the last podcast, but I still can't believe Pokemon is here, but I'm really glad it's still here.
And they didn't budge an inch.
As far as, like...
And yet when they do budge an inch, everybody eats it the fuck up because it's something new!
It's like a breath of fresh air. You gotta have it.
Delta episode? Pokemon on me? Oh my god!
Hey, I actually like Delta episode to an extent.
Pokemon keeps its skin ship. I don't see what the problem is. That's for later. I'm jumping ahead.
But hey, guess what? Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon are the new ones. They have long since ditched the gems and have gone for now the Sun and the Moon, which should be really interesting. Maybe this new team that's going to try and rule the world going to try to use the Sun and the Moon Pokemon to take over the Sun and the Moon, or maybe space.
We better go to space.
Well, we kind of went to space in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, we need to... I think that if Sun and Moon were a lot like the Delta episode, I think we'd have a really good time, because I haven't really done much in the Delta episode yet, but from what I played, it's fucking amazing.
It's actually pretty short, so wherever you ended up, you might not have much left. Just know that, I don't know how I did this, but that's where you find Rayquaza.
Do you want to know how I got stuck?
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
I'm just... It was late at night, now I'm just, finishing up this one fight, and then I'm just kind of fading after the dialogue. It's not really all that interesting, and then she tells me where to go, and then they kept me back to the...
Oh my god,
wait,
you fell asleep.
Wait, where are we going? Where do I gotta go? Ah, shit.
Well, time to fly everywhere.
Well, guess I'm not playing that anymore.
Well, I hope they do bring back the way you could fly in Ruby and Sapphire. The new ones where you could you go into just like an overworld map and you can choose where to fly to. I thought that was really cool because then you could explore like the little hidden islands they hid there with random legendary Pokemon in it.
Oh, I loved that. That actually made me gasp out in a bit of surprise when it happened. I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. And there were some places where you could go and there would be a dimensional portal. And all of a sudden out pops Dialga or something like that. Oh my god, it's the Pokemon of time! Where did you come from?
More like, when did I come from?
Whoa!
Alright, kid, you're going to die.
No! But yeah, little stuff like that is kind of not the innovation, but just kind of the breath of fresh air that Pokemon needs with every game, and it keeps happening and we keep getting excited for it, even though it's the same thing, but it's still fun.
It's pretty much the equivalent of a 20-year-old dishwater getting stirred again, and the bubbles rise to the top. There's a little bit of sud for a second, maybe. You
always come up with the best ways to describe things.
I get thanks.
The best metaphors. How do you do it?
Allegories,
metaphors.
Allegoraphores.
Allegoraphores.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
And is that all that happened in February?
We got, to bring it back down for a moment again, we got, hashtag WTFU. Yeah. What foo? Where's the fair use? For those of you who make videos, and who watch this, because I know you all do, YouTube's been on a tirade since the beginning of the year, and random content ID claims or copyright claims have been being made in droves these past couple months. I know it's March now, but it's been happening for a long time, a lot more now, and that's kind of a scary prospect because all of a sudden, big names in the YouTube fandom have been getting tagged with either copyright strikes or their channels being removed. And that's bad, because YouTube's robots are messing up big time, and the worst part about that is, when the robot messes up, nobody can contact anybody from YouTube to fix the problem, because they just don't care enough. Well, they kind of have to care now. They made a big mistake in destroying Team 4-Star's channel. Oops. Aren't they back now, though?
They are back.
Good.
Yeah, and after a fan base of 2 million strong go after you, you kind of have to listen to 2 million screamers.
I haven't even watched Team 4-Star since, the 23rd episode, and yet I still cared.
Well, you gotta think, that's That's huge. That's a lot of revenue for YouTube just automatically being killed overnight. And they knew nothing.
Because a robot did a faulty matchup to some fucking Content ID, which is Content ID was always shady as hell to me anyway.
Well, Content ID and copyright strikes. Because companies can set up to where if you are using any of their footage, they can program that into the YouTube robot, and every time that robot sees it anywhere online, tags it. So it can be Content ID'd so that that person gets your revenue, or it could just be outright blocked, which happens a lot to me sometimes when I use too much footage in reviews. It'll just be blocked worldwide because nobody is allowed to see that. And sometimes a company can just come straight in, out of nowhere, and just say, this video's gone, and then completely destroy it with just a simple description, and then that's it. It's gone. And the channel that had that video gets a copyright strike. 3 strikes, you're out, and you have no way to fight that except for an automated system where you send in a rebuttal saying, no, this is under, let's say, fair use, because that's the big thing now. No, this is under fair use, and then the person who took it down can look at your claim and either deny it or say, you know what, you're right. But 9 times out of 10, they're never going to say that, and you're going to keep that strike.
I don't know if it's just shady stuff going behind the scenes. I don't know if it's because of robots messing up and algorithms not adding up, or if it's a complete hack job or whatever. This is major for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
This is a massive hit for YouTube.
And you want to know what's going to be... personally, I'm going to think it's funny, but not for the reasons you're thinking. What if one day those robots or somebody comes in to Markiplier, to Smosh, and takes down one of their videos? That's millions of people going to YouTube complaining because somebody got a copyright strike. And then they'll probably have to redo the algorithm, either that or actually do some customer service.
This isn't really a small site anymore, okay?
No.
This isn't back when we had our funny YouTube poops back in, 2008. No, YouTube is a fucking huge site. It is a staple of society, really, when you get right down to it. Because you can get YouTube anywhere. You can get it on your computer, you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your tablet, you can get it on your DVD player, your Blu-ray player, your consoles, your handheld consoles, you can get it fucking anywhere. That same goes for Netflix and Hulu. So
that's right.
And the thing about Netflix and Hulu is that they have way better customer service than fucking YouTube does.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing. But I kind of understand, a little bit understand as to where they're coming from, because with YouTube being a huge site to deal with, you can't hire that many people to look over every single video, so sometimes an automated system can be helpful. But if you don't have customer support actually looking at emails to people who have either spurious claims where somebody didn't like your work and said, nah, get rid of this, I don't like it. Or if you have people making false claims, which happens a lot, especially with Content IDs, because I think, this actually has happened to me before. Somebody Content ID'd one of my videos that was supposedly using a song that was nowhere in that video, and yet they were still getting my money from my video that did not have that music. And I had to wait, 30 days or whatever, for them to come back and say, well, you know what, you're right. It is a terrible system.
You'd be surprised how many people are jumping to Vimeo because of this now.
Well, yeah, because in some ways, any one of our channels could be taken down in no time.
I saw one reviewer who did pop music reviews, and immediately his video got taken down on both YouTube and Vimeo. But when he emailed Vimeo about it, they brought it back up within 2 hours.
So that shows that Vimeo actually has somebody looking at their emails.
So maybe I should just tentatively say now, if we ever get taken down for YouTube for whatever reason, I guess you can find us on Vimeo.
I guess, which reminds me I need to make backups because some of the old video files I don't have anymore.
Oh dear.
That happened when one of my hard drives got wiped. That was back in the early days.
Huh.
Time to make backups of everything.
Back all the ups!
Well, that is kind of a scary prospect if you think about it, because people have jobs on YouTube now.
Yeah, people rely on YouTube now. It's not it's not what it used to be anymore. People actually make content now because you don't have any restrictions of censorship or anything like that. And it's very accessible to a lot of people and businesses. And there's a real revenue coming in here, so whenever you do a little fuck up, it's a little oopsie to YouTube, but it's catastrophic to the content creators.
Right, just that one copyright strike immediately puts you into panic mode. And kind of the terrible thing, as somebody who has received multiple copyright strikes, when it happens, some of your privileges are taken away, but that's not the bad part. The bad part about those privileges being taken away is actually one of the ones that is taken away is your ability to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
If you get hit with a copyright strike, they make it so that you can only, or you can't rebuttal content IDs. So your channel is wide open for people who want to leech off of your videos and the revenue you're making. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Basically, you make one mistake or somebody hates your video, decides to take it down forcibly, and all of a sudden, you're open for more attacks, and you can't defend yourself. That is bullshit.
It just doesn't, the system they have now isn't working as well as it should. They need to change the algorithms again because now YouTube is growing ever larger. They need to accommodate for it. They need to get it together!
Well, here's what I don't get. Google's huge. Why all of a sudden is there nobody to talk to? They should have at least one wing devoted to YouTube and customer service. At least that's what I would do if I was CEO. Just get somebody in there to start looking at emails, start looking into this crap. I know there's millions upon millions of messages to go through, but I'm sure you'll think of something. You're a big company. Can't you do something?
I know that something does eventually get done, but sometimes that eventually comes too late, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now, and don't even get me started about the copyright school you have to go through. Because you're locked out of your channel after you get that strike. You're locked out of your channel until you attend copyright school hosted by the Happy Tree Friends, which makes me want to punch my monitor. It is so terrible.
Oh, I see their game now.
You have to watch a video. You got to answer questions based on what you saw in the video. And if you get the multiple choice questions right, you can get back into your channel.
So, I think this can go both ways. Whenever we get a copyright strike, we have to go through copyright school with the Happy Tree Friends. But if YouTube has a false strike or, takes away our privileges or costs us any type of money, they have to go through fair use school hosted by PewDiePie.
Oof. So which is worse? Happy Tree Friends or PewDiePie?
Well, maybe that'll entice them not to fuck up.
Okay, I can see that. And that's actually another interesting thing. I wonder what would happen if PewDiePie sicked his 30 million strong on YouTube saying, fix this problem.
Oh, would they even dare?
I mean, I know they wouldn't because video games are actually kind of safe under that regard, except for select companies who don't like to share. But yeah, if he ever made something or used one bit of music that didn't go over well and he got hit with one of those, that's over 30 million people shouting.
It doesn't even have to be a company. It could just be some douchebags who want to be patent trolls, and they pose as companies and then file false strikes on 3 of his videos, and then bam, his channel's gone.
YouTube's biggest moneymaker would be gone out of nowhere.
But wait, I didn't say that. That didn't happen. I didn't write that down anywhere.
Please don't do that. Otherwise, the wrath of a percentage of the earth is coming after you.
I know I thought of it, but don't do it. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Don't do that.
I'm hoping one of these days it'll be an easier place, because back when YouTube was new, nobody cared about this crap. You could upload anything you wanted, and only, I think Viacom was the biggest fighter when it came to keeping their content under their own belt, because they would take down clips of Nickelodeon shows all over the place.
Yeah, that was at the height of the YouTube poops. If you don't know what those are, you look them up. They're a trip.
If you want one that'll scar you forever, look up Fawful the Awful.
Awful Fawful the Falafel.
He gives me nightmares.
Plug.
Just plug them all over the place.
Plug them here, plug them there, plug them everywhere.
So, yeah, YouTube's broken. Imagine that.
Where's the fair use? It lies in YouTube poop, because they had to fight too, and now nobody gives a shit about YouTube poop.
And that's kind of sad, because there are still some really good ones out there.
There's still some good content creators out there. But you know where to look.
Normally you have to look into the dark side of YouTube.
Okay, as far as I know, there's like 13 dark sides to YouTube.
That's true. That's true.
One of which is YouTube itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, are you talking like main page YouTube stuff? Stuff that's always on the front page?
No, I'm just talking YouTube itself.
Okay, well. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Second dark side is the comment section.
Ugh, that's like 3 in itself.
I hate the comment sections.
I
go to
post in the comments
videos.
how much you hate the comment section.
Yeah, let's go for that. Reading YouTube comment sections is like obtaining cancer, or if you already had cancer, you're getting more of it and you're gonna die quicker. It is like the most brain dead area that you can get to. But there are certain points that you can read a comment section and it's like, oh, okay, that's really nice. Like, let me give an example of people I've watched recently. And I'll definitely post these in the description. Renana? That's her name on Twitter. She's a cover artist. And going down in her comment section, everybody loves it. I'm like, okay, that's an example of good comment section. Mine, I'll just throw mine out there. My comment section, for the most part, is pretty good. Until you get one specific person disagreeing with you, and then it becomes really funny. And then you got the bad comment sections. And depending on the topic of the video, it can get really, really dangerous to look down in the comment section because you're going to find some really terrible people down there.
My comment section is like a dive bar that serves cheap beer. Usually the regulars show up, but most of the time it's empty.
Oh no! Everybody give him all the comments.
No!
Let's go to every video. Fill that dive bar.
No! I want to drink the cheap beer for myself!
I bought it for me, not for the customers. It's what all good bars do. Let me give you... I do want to give at least one example of a terrible comment section, and it's all based on topics.
No shit. Yeah.
If you're talking about the console war, places a battlefield, comment section is a terrible place to look. If you're talking about women, it is a terrible place to go to. Religion, that's another really bad one. Never go to the comment sections of religions. You're going to find all sorts of nut jobs for both sides.
And for sides you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, third parties. They're the worst. And, Donald Trump.
Just
another place.
Well, okay, let's just boil that down to politics.
Yeah, okay. Politics / Donald Trump.
Just politics in general. Fuck politics.
Yeah,
this is not going to be a political show, because no.
No, it's not. I'm just giving brief examples of places where you never want to look in the comment sections because you will hate your life and the world.
OP stands for 2 things. Orange Peripheral and obfuscate politics.
Yeah, sure. Just call it whatever you want, just as long as you keep the initials OP. Actually, that might be interesting. Go ahead. In the comment section, one of the good comment sections, say what you think OP stands for, besides the actual name.
Ocular penis.
So it has an eye?
Yeah, just, you know.
So it turns into a Zelda boss.
Literal interpretation of One-Eyed Snake, just put it that way.
I hate you.
Here's looking at you, kid. Oh, I can see down your throat.
Oh, come on!
Alright, let's move on to games. What do you say?
Thank you!
That shuts the words of fair use right on its ass, I think.
You're terrible. Yeah, games. What games came out this month? Well, we actually talked about it in the last podcast as to what was coming out, but
let's save that one for later, because we're going to talk about that a lot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with just throwing it out there, Street Fighter V.
You talking about the game that came out with missing features?
Yeah, Street Fighter V, or as I like to call it,
Just an ellipsis or a straight cutoff. Yeah, Street Fighter V. This is what you don't want to do with your game. You don't have an exclusive deal with Sony just to release a half-finished game.
Even though Sony's done it before with Gran Turismo 5 Prologue or something.
Right, but people forgot about that because nobody plays racing games.
Except for the people that do.
Don't kill me.
They enjoy driving.
Driving fast, who would like that?
Well, whatever.
But yeah, anyway, you don't do that. Can I just stress that right now? You do not release a half-finished game and promise you'll bring the rest later. Even if it is a good game, quote-unquote, like it actually works and everything, you still just don't do that. Why would you think that would be a good idea?
I think they were trying to do what Nintendo did, but they did it better.
Are you talking about with Splatoon?
Yeah, I'm thinking back to Splatoon, to even Mario Kart 8 and Smash, where they gave you a foundation of a game upon which they built.
Well, you also got to think, Mario Kart 8 was finished. Splatoon was 100% finished. They just added more to it. Like, I can't remember. I think the only thing that wasn't in Splatoon starting out was probably like 1 or 2 maps. And those came like a week later. But we're talking Street Fighter V being released, and they said this mode is coming in mid-May.
Mid-May? Why don't you release it in mid-May then?
This is my whole point. You don't release a half-finished game. And then say, oh yeah, these features are coming later. Just wait!
I heard a theory that Capcom released this game so that way they could do it in time for the fiscal year.
Either the fiscal year or EVO.
Something like that.
No, you still don't do that.
I mean, from what I hear, it's still solid. It still works as a fighting game, and it's still fun to play. And, obviously the people who have already bought it aren't complaining too much. I mean, except for the ones that are, but, fans of Street Fighter will definitely probably already have it or should wait for a price drop, but I expect better from Capcom than this.
Yeah, see, if we're talking their fiscal finances, one, you already got Sony helping you out with the game, so why do you even have to worry? Just take all the time you need and Sony will back you. And also, you should still have some cash from your Resident Evil sales. Those aren't going anywhere. Unless you spend it all on more drug money.
They need better drugs then.
Yeah, I know. These ones aren't working. Just, come on, guys.
I'll hold out for Super Street Fighter V.
But then that'll only be half done.
Well, hey, a half done Super Street Fighter V is a whole done Street Fighter V.
True, I will say that. But I'm more looking out for the filthy casuals. I guess that's just a terminology on the internet, but...
And that's why I haven't bought Street Fighter V yet.
Because you don't want to be called a filthy casual, or you are one.
Why don't we go with yes?
Okay. Yes on any and all fronts.
Why don't we go with yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if somebody's going in and buying Street Fighter V because they just like regular fighting games and they just want to play around with it, and all of a sudden all you have is a bare-bones story mode and half the mode's missing, I just spent $60 on a game that's half there. This is why I say you don't do that.
Yeah, you're not falling for that again, Dead or Alive 5, last round.
No, that game's just broken. No, it was all there, it's just broken as shit, and I still don't think it's fixed. That's going to be a punchline until Dead or Alive 6 comes out.
Or until it gets fixed.
It's never going to get fixed. I can already tell it is never going to get fixed.
We didn't think Bloodborne would get patched. That got fixed.
That's two different entities. We're talking Tecmo Koei and From Software. Like, you put one on a pedestal, you throw the other one in the dirt. Sorry, Tecmo Koei, you're not as good as you used to be.
Ever since you got those slackers Koei. What? They are. They make the same game over and over again.
Oh, Dynasty Warriors and stuff?
And Samurai Warriors.
Well, if you're into that type of hack and slash game, if you liked Hyrule Warriors, chances are you like the other Warriors series.
Stick to what you know, but...
Well, it's the same as Nintendo. Stick with what you know, just up it a little bit.
I don't want to get the Dynasty Warriors fans mad, so I'll keep my mouth shut now.
How dare you make fun of our repetitive game? And that was my gag. What else is going on in the gaming industry for specific games?
Far Cry Primal.
Which is apparently meeting with rave reviews, one, because it's new, and two, because they just gave us the full game, and that was it.
I watched a little bit of gameplay, and 5 seconds in, I was like, alright, I know I want this at one point. Because Far Cry 3 was fine and all, but I didn't really finish it, because I just kind of lost interest. It had to go through a stupid stealth element, and I was like, oh, fuck that. And then Far Cry 4 didn't really interest me too much, because it just seemed like more Far Cry 3, and nothing really added to it. But with Primal, they take away the guns.
Mm-hmm.
And that means it's that much more like Skyrim again. Because you have to rely on melee weapons and bows and arrows and spears and all that. Stuff that you don't normally have in shooters. I think it'd be a pretty interesting experience, and it seems pretty okay. I can always tell that the guys over at the Far Cry dev... Who are they again? Let me check.
Ubisoft? Don't they have that?
It's Ubisoft, but...
Yep. Oh, I know what you mean. Ubisoft Montreal.
I can tell they're having fun with what they're doing. You know, from the first time I saw them introducing Far Cry 3, I could tell that, you know, they were a bit brosy, but they were excited about what they were doing, and they wanted to make fun video games, and that's what I think that they're doing here. So, Far Cry Primal looks pretty good, and I'll probably pick it up at some point.
Yeah, you also have the element of animals, which you had in Far Cry 3 and 4, but this one you actually get to use them as kind of like sidekicks. Like, you get to control your own saber-toothed tiger, you get to ride on mammoths, and that seems pretty nice.
This also lures in people who really aren't into shooters too much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, wow. Ubisoft Montreal.
If anything, it's like Turok.
No, we're going too far back in time.
This is a Turok we all wanted!
I didn't know Ubisoft Montreal was responsible for almost every Assassin's Creed game. So something must be going right now. Let's see. Ubisoft Montreal is in charge of all the numbered creeds from the looks of it.
Right.
They were also in charge of the Assassin's Creed 2 series.
Which means they didn't do Unity and Syndicate.
Syndicate, yeah. Yeah, they did... Oh, wait. They did Unity.
Oh. Oh, God.
Well, there's a couple splotches on the resume, but not too bad.
I've always thought that Ubisoft made better artists than they did writers.
Yeah, not too much going into the writing department.
That's the difference between Rayman Origins and Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs' story is terrible.
Mm-hmm. And the dialogue's terrible. Everything about that's terrible.
And then you'll have Watch Dogs 2 that was announced at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they do better. I hope they stick with an idea instead of changing it halfway through.
I mean, I really like the hacking element in Watch Dogs. That was really cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of interesting ideas, and a lot of the sets, a lot of the pieces look pretty nice. The setting, at least. Again, great visual design. But when it comes to executing any kind of story or plot, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's so bad. So yeah, stick with what you know, Ubisoft.
They do that shit where they just drop words as they're thinking of themselves in this kind of boring, neutral, bland, dramatic sort of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Saw him going over there. Looked like it was a red car. Maybe I should head to the garage. Down on Park Street. A little ways away. Might take some time. Maybe I should get a bite to eat.
Oh, God, stop.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I totally know what you mean.
It's terrible.
But I have to admit, probably my favorite Ubisoft game, and this is going way back, was the original Assassin's Creed. I actually played that to 100% because I really, really liked it.
I can go back further. No, my favorite Ubisoft game was Rayman 2.
Oh, you actually like that piece of crap?
I love Rayman 2. Fuck you, bro. I'll fight you on that. We'll fight you.
Oh, I know. I only say that because I was never able to finish it, so clearly bad game.
Well, neither was I, but it was...
Okay.
The story was minimal, and the art design was really good. Gameplay, valleys and hills, we'll say.
I must have been in a different mindset. Like, the newer Raymans, I really like their style and I really like their gameplay, but the old-fashioned ones I just could not get into.
I picked up Rayman 3 HD for PS3. It was a PlayStation Plus download or whatever. No, wait, I actually bought that. And let me just say, Rayman 3 is absolute shit.
Where the series belongs. Nah, I'm kidding. Like, how bad is it?
Constant, non-stop, fourth wall jokes.
Ew.
Constant.
That doesn't sound fun.
Not only that, they have real voice acting.
What's wrong with that?
Billy West, you don't belong here, buddy.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. I love your work, but not in this one.
They wasted their Billy West.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because Billy West was the one making most of the fourth wall jokes.
Oh no. Well, now we know how to use our Billy West, apparently. Just don't put him in a fourth wall breaker.
I went on a Ubisoft tirade. Where are we at now?
Well, not a lot happened much, but...
The last Smash DLC characters.
Oh yeah! Those actually did come out right at the beginning of February.
And that can segue into our final game.
Yeah!
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. You suck as Corrin. And by that I mean you're way too good as Corrin. You suck.
I know. I mean, I don't take any joy in being really good as Corrin, because I'm unstoppable, it seems.
It seems you always choose female Corrin. Is there a reason for that, or she just feels better? I know that doesn't sound right, but... Because you destroy. I used my best characters against you, and I still couldn't beat you. I went over to his house for a recording session, and we played about, 10 rounds? 10 rounds of Smash? And it always got to the point where he was like 80% health with 1 life left, and then he'd kill me. So I'll take pride in the fact that I was able to get him down that much with his best characters, but it was always fucking Corrin. Oh, it destroyed me. Man.
Oh, the tears of a scrub.
I got you close every single time.
No. I did have to try. You
could not give me scrub status that easily.
No, you're not a scrub. I mean, I have to try.
That makes it sound so sad.
Well, it's not like I did it like, oh, no big deal. No, that's some close moments.
Some really close moments, and then I had to try out some of your homemade levels, which are the worst things in existence. Especially the one that messes with your perspective.
Oh yes, peripheral space. The stage where I put all the platforms outside of the field of view.
So you have to pretty much guess as your life ticks up.
Or pause the game. So you can adjust the camera to see where you are, where you can jump to next, and where your opponents are.
That would be the most obnoxious tournament match I think you could ever see, because it would be constantly people pausing just to see where they are.
And you see, that's why I made these levels, because I'm so pissed at these fucking neurotic-ass esports motherfuckers who take something fun and pure like Smash and turn it down to a fucking science. I hate these tiers and this bullshit, because Smash Brothers is a random game. Sakurai intended it for be that way. That's why he focused so much on items in these last 2 installments. So by making these stages, I changed the nature of the game. You can't do your usual grabs and shit because the level's trying to actively fuck with you in ways they never fuck with you before.
And then you also have those levels that just have cannons that shoot you into oblivion.
Cannons everywhere!
You and bounce pads and cannons.
Bounce pads into cannons that shoot you off screen.
Instant death.
Instant death. Instant death.
Time.
Instant.
You've almost created the Smash Brothers equivalent of an automatic level if it weren't for the small platforms that we spawn on. Also, you and Duck Hunt, man, that is the worst.
Yeah, who would have thought I'd be good at Duck Hunt?
Who would have thought I would have been semi-decent with Bayonetta? As soon as I found out how to activate Witch Time, Duck Hunt was mine.
No, I still won.
I know you still won. Barely. Barely.
Because you were witch timing my projectiles, and I knew that was a bad thing.
I didn't know you could do that. That was a fun discovery to happen in the middle of a battle.
But oh, it's so fun to throw like 5 oil barrels at him at a time. All in a row.
Yeah, if it wasn't the barrel, it was the clay pigeon.
Yep.
And you can witch time both of them, which is hilarious. Is it time for your glorious segue?
Well, it's Corrin who kicks ass.
Oh yeah. Time to transition into another game that kicks so much ass, and now I know this for sure.
Oh, this is where the salt comes in.
Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get it. It's right here. It's right here. What is this? It's that beautiful art book.
Came with an art book and a special case to hold your 3DS.
Useless for me because I don't have one.
Well, you still have a 3DS you can put in it, but...
Yeah, it's like... it does not fit. No way it doesn't fit.
And we also got, because he and I both got the same special edition, a special game cart of Fire Emblem Fates with Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations all on the same cart.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It is fantastic. And I've played Awakening but never finished it. You have finished Birthright and Awakening.
I finished Awakening twice, bro.
You are way better than me. But, yeah, this is probably one of the best strategy games I've ever played. Still kinda hard, even on beginner mode.
Oh, you think it's... Wait, beginner mode?
Beginner as in no permadeath.
Well, there's two kinds of no permadeath now.
Well, beginner for
Because
Fire Emblem players.
This game is like Fire Emblem Awakening times 3. Because they add more shit everywhere, and they make everything better. Everything is better. Everything.
I'm not nearly as far as you. How about you lead us into the discussion on why you think it is really good?
Oh, I thought you had something, but, okay. Well,
I could have had.
Well, in Fire Emblem Awakening, most of the stuff that happened was in, just hidden in a menu. But now it feels like that there's more, I guess, structured everything, because you have this thing called My Castle. You have your own little castle where, you do your in-between segments, and you can gather materials to forge new weapons, you can get food so you can feed your troops, so you can buff them up for the next battle. Just so much stuff you can do. They've added so much on in-between content, and of course that goes for the support conversations, which all new Fire Emblem fans will drool over. But, what also makes it better is the fact that it's inclusive. It's very, very inclusive. You can pretty much mold whatever kind of Fire Emblem experience you want to have. Do you like permadeath? Well, we got permadeath for you. Do you want the hardest mode available? Well, we got that for you too. Do you want to just be baby through the entire storyline where nobody dies ever, and they come back in the next turn? We've got that too, but you're probably a pussy if you do that. Anyway, The strategy is very deep. I feel like that there could have been a bit more in terms of side stories.
Yeah,
but,
I would agree with that.
But, yeah, it's kind of annoying that shit was cut, but you barely even notice that anything was cut. It's still great. It's one of the best strategy RPGs ever made, and go get it. If
you can find it in stores, because they always make the Fire Emblem games scarce. And I have no idea why.
Yeah, I had to get Awakening through the eShop myself.
Oh, really? You don't even have a physical copy?
No.
Oh, no. Well, at least it was worth your cash.
And that means I can play it wherever I go now.
Exactly, yes. For those of you who only have one side of the story, either Birthright or Conquest, there is a reason they made it so that the other half was cheaper than the original one you bought. Because at one point in the game, I think it's chapter 6... 5 or 6. It's one of the early chapters where you get to choose a side. Now, if you're only playing your one side, then you are going to play Birthright, you're going to go with your birth family, or you're going to go with the family that raised you if you're playing Conquest. But the fun thing about the cart that we have is we immediately had the choice of one side, the other side, or neither side. And I am glad that they gave us kind of a little flavor text, like saying, here's what you're going to experience on this side. Here's what you're going to experience on this side. And Revelations, they immediately said, don't play this first. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they said that, because I was actually going to choose neither side first, because I immediately love both sides.
Nope. You have to taste everybody's betrayed tears first.
Yeah, I know. So I went with Birthright first.
Well, so did I.
Stick with the home team. And then we'll go Conquest, we'll be traitors to our homeland, and eventually I'll choose neither.
Well, I chose Hoshido for a completely different reason than most people do. A lot of people have problems with Hoshido for some reason.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either. I mean, is it the characters? Is it I don't know, but I chose it because I love ancient Heian culture, and there's just references galore in that shit.
I kind of figured you would choose it for the cultural side, but me, I really like my family members.
One of the fucking characters is named Kagero! Kagero! Hello?
And who knows that in the audience? Probably nobody, so why don't you explain?
The Kagero Diary is one of the famous diaries that came out of the Heian period in the 10th century, and it's a damn good read. Nothing I can say can make you interested in it at all. So
No, okay, so just go read it.
it's
No context, just go read it.
It's a bunch of poetry, a bunch of prose, a bunch of emotional shit that probably don't care about. So unless you have an interest for that kind of thing, don't bother.
We have now gotten our culture lesson.
I actually have the Kagero Diary.
Really?
If you want, I can go grab it.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Tall and short of Fire Emblem, if you really like strategy games, go get it now. If you really like compelling stories to have you make one difficult choice, as far as I know, then please go get Fire Emblem if you can find it.
You're going to get your heart ripped out.
Yes. I'm okay with that. I mean, it wasn't, like, I thought it was going to be more impactful when I made that choice, even though I had to straight up betray my entire family, but it's also kind of helped with kind of the little side quests that you can do to level up your characters just to make sure they don't die. And also the dragon powers. Very, very cool.
Yeah, the dragon. Oh, the dragon.
And also your butler characters are still overpowered.
I don't know. Felicia was shit for me.
Jacob's destroying armies for me, so maybe we use them differently.
I had Rinka destroying everybody.
Well, yeah. She is pretty powerful. Haven't used her much, though. I need to get back on that. I did find myself a really hot knight, Silas, so we'll see what happens with him.
Maybe we should also explain our genders.
Oh yeah, I chose a female character.
I chose a male character for Birthright, then I'm doing a female run for Nor.
And I'm doing the exact opposite.
And then for Revelations, I'm gonna go genderless. Or
I'm gonna go as a mystery.
gender fluid.
There we go, a little bit of both. Oh, can I say one thing about the, who's the guy in your castle who can basically gauge how much people love each other? What's he called?
Oh, I forgot his name.
Well, anyway, there's a guy who can gauge how much each character likes them. You can pair them up in kind of a situation, and he'll tell you, they're kind of compatible, and you'll see what they think of each other. It's randomized every time, but probably one of the funniest ones, I actually tweeted a picture of this, where I paired myself and another one of the female warriors, and, I had feelings for her, and she thought I was just okay, and he said, hey, I'm not one to judge. Good answer. So it is an all-inclusive Fire Emblem.
Very all-inclusive. You can literally form any kind of experience you want from the game. It's very, very open-ended. You can choose your own fate when you play this game.
But Tish, and then you can make some badass children.
Oh, yeah.
You told me that you made, like, probably one of the most destructive children ever, right?
My fucking child, Jesus. Having your daughter growl I love you in Dragon was too much for me. I didn't think it would, because it was just a couple lines of text, and that didn't really do anything, but for some reason it got to me. I don't know. So special about this game.
'Cause that's my dragon baby. And she's saying, I love you.
And then I made her be friends with the fox child, and they became best of friends. They became shopping buddies, of all things. They became shopping buddies. Delightful.
You actually do sound like a proud dad. It's like as soon as a guy comes home, you're going to be polishing the shotgun, right?
She never married.
That can be taken a couple ways, but I'll leave that just in case there are spoilers around here.
I'll leave it up to interpretation.
Okay, up to interpretation.
Was it by choice, or was it through an arrow that shot her through the head during the last chapter? Who knows? Probably not.
Well, hopefully I have something not to look forward to.
Or not.
How could you?
Oh, and by the way, if you think turning off permadeath is going to turn off death...
No, there's story-driven deaths. I know that at least.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But I think, isn't that based on their relationship, though? Like with you, or based on level? Or does it not matter?
This is my spoiler face.
Okay. Alright, I'll try something. See what happens.
Try playing the game. That really works.
Okay, I can do that. There's one more game that you started playing between Fire Emblem, and I'm so glad you like it.
There's only so much I can say about it, though.
I know. So why don't you give, like, the briefest and spoiler-free outline that you can give it?
Danganronpa is a good game.
What do you like about it?
It's good.
Because?
It's well made. Okay. It's really one of the most insane, stylish, most absolutely bonkers game I've played in recent years.
Yes. It's exactly the reaction I'm shooting for.
I have been, I'm not an avid adventure game player, but I've been raised on the adventure games of old. I remember the grammar inventory where you have to give or talk or push something and click on another thing. I remember when you had to click on something. Well, the idea is if you have the one piece of evidence to move on to the next piece, there's one piece in your inventory to connect with another piece in the setting or whatever, you move on. It's been like that for the Tim Schafer games. It's been that way for Monkey Island. It's been that way for even Phoenix Wright and even beyond that. So imagine how strange it must be for me to have the evidence and miss? I know the answer. I have the connection, but I miss?
Oh! He is still getting used to shooting evidence, shooting his truth bullets at the statements.
Such a foreign concept. It's like, that's like in the middle of a strategy RPG, during the battles, you do a racing segment?
Oh, I friggin' love it. I've been getting play-by-plays through text messages, and right now he's just started Chapter 4. And I love being able to say, oh, I know exactly where he is. And I've noticed you haven't had to ask me for help at all, just a couple just small questions like, what was one you recently asked me? Like, is there a way to get a permanently wrong suspect?
Like, I pick the wrong one, and then we keep going, and then because I picked the wrong one at the start, I'm fucked into a game over.
Nah, nothing like that. Nothing too dickish like that. It's very straightforward.
Well, that's not very despair-worthy at all.
I don't know. Some of the technical things in the game have caused you to complain a bit.
Yeah, I do have a lot of issues with this game. Really, it's moving around when you're not in the trials. And the non-stop debates, of course.
Stick it out. You're almost done. Still can't tell you how many chapters there are, though.
Well, I've been doing okay. Alright for the most part.
And now we just need to wait. I still haven't picked it up myself, so I don't know what's different from the Vita version. I'm guessing
Really? You don't need to pick it up. It's the same thing. It's a port.
I'm just thinking it's the lack of touch controls. That would be the only thing that would be missing. But I'm just thinking, if it's all keyboard-based...
I've been using a gamepad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it offer that, or is it just... that's what you use straight up?
That's just what I use straight up. You can use keyboard and mouse, but I find the gamepad works way better.
See, I was wondering if they were going to...
Are you talking about when you click on stuff in investigation mode?
Not that, but for the trial segments, for the non-stop debates, is your mouse tied to your reticle?
Yes.
That might help you shoot faster.
Well, I've been using the gamepad, but what happens is that your reticle kind of shakes around, too, so it's like off-center, too.
I know. There's Camera Bob. I know it.
Yeah.
There are skills to take that down, by the way.
Well, great! I would so love to hear about them! But I can't do that because... redacted.
Who's been your absolute favorite characters? I already know this, but the audience doesn't.
My absolute favorite, that would be... well, I got... oh, man, I can't decide between them now. It's... okay, yeah, it's Toko.
I figured. For reasons we can't say, but Toko is a very interesting character as soon as you meet her.
Every line she delivers is gold, and I realize she's pretty much a female version of me, but constantly on the rag.
Yeah, just take that as you will.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Now, what I do think is funny is, while I was getting this play-by-play, he just started liking certain characters, and then they died not 10 minutes later. And to me, I thought that was the funniest thing, because I was like, yeah, you finally got to like them, and then they're not there anymore.
Well, hey, I just got to liking... Well, I hated this one character. I wish that this one character would die, and then they did die, and I was like, well, good.
Good riddance, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll stick it out to the end. I can't believe how fast you have flown through this game. I mean, I pretty much did the same thing, but I'm just glad you have stuck with it. Makes me feel good.
I've been wanting to play this for a long-ass time.
And you did say you spoiled one thing for yourself, but that was kind of... It was going to happen.
Well, yeah,
no matter what.
Because they appeared in another game, and it's probably not that spoil-worthy, so...
Nah, it's not. If you know that detail, you're not ruining anything.
I'm not even all that mad.
Soon as you reach... Yeah, it'll definitely start picking up in the next chapter. I can at least tell you there's one after 4. And then you're going to have a lot of fun. A lot more fun.
I know school mode's going to be fun.
School mode is going to be fun.
I'm actually looking forward to that a whole lot. That's really what's keeping me driving this whole time.
Well, the story should be keeping you driving, because at some point you didn't know how certain crimes were committed. And that's the best part of this game, is trying to figure out, as soon as you see a crime, you start to figure, how in the hell did that happen?
Well, for the first crime, I looked and I was like, well, I know exactly what happened.
Right. The first one, very tutorial-esque, very, hey stupid, look over here.
Second one kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. Third one, towards the end got crazy, but I pretty much figured out who it was when the trial started.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, even before that, I was suspicious.
Yeah, they don't make it impossible. They saved that for 2.
2's impossible?
You'll go in, you'll have all your evidence and everything, but as soon as you go into that trial, you are going to have no idea who committed it. That's what I mean as impossible. In the first game, you take one look and you can kind of guess, especially with the first case. But Danganronpa 2, they give you no hints as to who it is. You actually find that out during the trial, and then all of a sudden, you get the light bulb in your head, and you're like, oh my god, no way. And then you gotta press your case. So look forward to that.
Make your argument!
Actually, we can probably make another tangent saying that the Phoenix Wright trailer was released yesterday. Ace Attorney 6, being released June 9th? June 9th in Japan. And it looks really good, especially because a certain somebody has come back.
Been waiting years for you. Years. you come back 10 years later. Not a word. Just some DVDs, a still image, and a crossover game. That's nice.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
And you appeared in a boat a couple times in another crossover, or another spin-off. But now you're back, Maya Fey! Now you're fucking back!
Yeah, this looks to be really interesting, and you've done a lot more research than I have into the game, even finding out that it is rated M.
It is?
Oh, I don't know. The last one was, but I thought you mentioned that this newer one was also rated M.
No, I said that Phoenix Wright is rated M now because it's an M-rated series, because the last one was rated M.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine this one straying too far from that.
And now that I think about it, Ace Attorney 5 actually wasn't too, gory, but maybe I've forgotten some details.
It was definitely pretty intense, though.
Yes, it was.
Maybe the better graphics and the 3D models made it more lifelike.
Maybe, and some of the situations were kind of paraling.
A bomb exploded in a courtroom.
That did happen, almost immediately.
Actually, I'm going to look that up. Maybe they have a reason for us. The ESRB.
Yeah, take a look at the ESRB while I'm going to start talking about games that are coming out in March.
Okay.
Alright, let's see.
Oh,
Alekine's Gun. No idea what that is.
They changed their website. Yeesh.
Oh, is it bad?
It's not yellow anymore.
Interesting. Anyway, Heavy Rain got a remaster. These are games that have, just come out. Twilight Princess HD, I'm playing the hell out of that, so go get that if you really like a good Zelda game. Hitman Intro Pack is coming out. Hotel Neek, The Firefly Diary is coming out on Steam. Cool.
There's no rating summary for Phoenix Wright 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Try Ace Attorney.
Nope. Like, the game is there, but there's no rating summary for it. Like, it's just M just 'cause we said.
Okay. Shantae is finally coming to Xbox One. Pokken Tournament is coming out on the 18th.
You know, I gotta deal with Violet. If I picked up Pokken Tournament for her, she'd pick up Dark Souls 3 for me.
Oh, hell yes. Well, now you have to, dude.
I'm game.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. You get a Pokemon Tekken game, and she gets you Dark Souls 3. And if they both turn out to be crap, you both still love each other.
Yeah, but no one said that Dark Souls 3 is crap yet.
Yet. What else do we have here? Stranger of Sword City. Whatever that is. Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Finally. Hyrule Warriors Legends.
You were a little eager when you said that, friend.
Fine, I'll say it again. Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Oh, finally. That sounded worse. Hyrule Warriors Legends coming out on the 25th. Killer Instinct Season 3. Okay.
Fun.
Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithlessness.
Why do we even have Star Ocean anymore?
Because Square Enix can't let things go.
All of them are bad!
In certain opinions.
Well, I haven't played the first two, but 3 and 4 are fucking wretched! Especially 3! God! Fuck!
Let's see. Day of the Tentacle remastered.
Huh.
Might actually try that. I haven't played any of the old Tim Schafer games.
I played Grim Fandango Remastered for PS4.
How is it?
It is beyond my time.
Oh, is it stuck in the past?
So it's a 1997 PC adventure game.
Hmm.
I was still figuring out Mario 64 at that time.
Oh, maybe you can use your new adult brain to figure out Grim Fandango.
Nope. No can do.
Is it just like way out there in trying to figure out puzzles?
It's way out there, and I don't have the patience.
Gotcha,
Let's put it that. Yeah, it's cumbersome to move from one place to another because you have to do it just right, you know.
Okay, I see.
It's very nice, though. I like what I played so far, but I don't think I'll have the patience to go through all 4 years of it.
Gotcha.
Probably take me 4 years.
Yeah, probably. It's about how long it takes me to finish a game.
Huh.
And last but not least, Miitomo. Finally, Nintendo's getting into the phone scene.
I finally got a good phone now, and small tangent, Downwell is good.
I've heard so many good things about Downwell, not just on Steam, but even on the phones. So it has your recommendation and your blessing?
Yes, as does Hatfall.
And that's Zero Punctuation's game. That's Yahtzee's game.
That's Yahtzee's game, and it is... You get more out of it than you thought you ever would.
Okay. Oh. Can we jump forward to the future?
The future.
Yeah, there's a few April games I want to give a shout out to, because April's actually looking really good.
I have one too.
Let's just go, Quantum Break.
Dark Souls 3.
Yep. Quantum Break is gonna be stupid, but Dark Souls 3, Ratchet & Clank, Bravely Second, Star Fox Zero, which we now have a confirmed release date, and that was something I was gonna get into. And that's about it. So 4 games in April you can look forward to. And now, last thing, or one of the last things on the agenda is the Nintendo Direct. This was in March, but it happened just a few days ago as of this recording, so might as well go over it. It won't be news.
Because somebody was a little late to the party to record this in time. Sorry.
Oops. Oh, well, it could be. Let's divvy up the blame and say it was both our faults.
Okay.
But Nintendo had a out-of-nowhere Direct. It's 40 minutes long, and they were explaining what games were going to be coming out up until summer. From then up until summer. A lot of surprise announcements, a lot of release dates, which I really liked. So let me go over the list real quick. They started out with Star Fox, and bundled it up with Star Fox Guard. Isn't that like a tower defense game?
They were fine. They just had to not touch it. Just make Star Fox. That's all. Just make that. It's all we No, we don't need the motion controls. No, start, guard, no. Cutscenes, no.
This is the only way to get the physical version of Star Fox Guard is by purchasing the packaged version of Star Fox Zero.
Guess I'm waiting for the single release, edition.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, at least Star Fox Zero looks nice. It's got 2-player mode.
Oh, that's nice. Like,
oh my gosh.
2-player co-op or multiplayer?
It says... In 2-player mode, one player can fly the R-Wing while the other player aims and shoots.
You can do that with one controller.
Right.
It's the same way that Trauma Center had 2-player action.
I was about to say, just like how Mario Galaxy had 2-player mode. It's like your baby brother mode. Here you go. You can play with me. Then we also have Paper Mario Color Splash. It's a brand new console Paper Mario.
What else did we have?
Yeah. I mean, I've never actually played or kind of enjoyed Paper Mario. I just can't get into them.
Did you ever play Paper Mario 2?
No.
We need to play Paper Mario 2.
Okay.
Did you ever play Paper Mario 1?
No.
We need to play
actually, yes, I did.
We need to play Paper Mario 2.
I think the only reason I stopped the original Paper Mario is because I got stuck, couldn't figure out where to go, so I just gave it up.
We should do 2 someday.
Someday, maybe.
Someday we'll do 2, because Paper Mario 2 is one of the greatest RPGs probably ever made.
From what I've heard, yeah.
In terms of tone, in terms of soundtrack, visuals even. Hell, it looks better than Super Paper Mario does. And that game was crap. It looks better than Paper Mario Sticker Star does. That game was crap.
I'm starting to notice a theme here.
I mean, they had to pair Paper Mario with Mario and Luigi to make it not crap.
And I still need to pick that up. That one actually looks like a lot of fun. Because I love the Mario and Luigi RPGs.
Well, I haven't beat it yet. I'm close to beating it, but, something kind of, took its place.
Or a couple games, maybe.
More like 3 in 1, but anyway.
Anyway, Super Mario Maker. I thought it was a really cool announcement that they were able to say 6.2 million levels have been made.
Wow.
That's a lot of shovelware.
That's a lot of sadism.
They added an expert mode, and they also added, which I am so glad they finally made this, they now have red coins, or pink coins as they call them, so you collect 5 and you get a key. You can shake a P-switch and turn it into a key, which is really, really good. I love that they added that. And the Super Mario Maker bookmark site will see additionals such as ranking categories for... Oh, okay, so it's just a ranking system. And I think you said it best on Twitter, saying this Direct was full of things that were kind of, oh, that's kind of neat, and other things that nobody would care about.
Who gives a fuck about this garbage? This garbage Federation Force garbage.
Not only that, but they had a whole tangent from Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympic Games, which I thought was a waste of about 5 minutes.
Garbage.
They're updating Splatoon.
Oh wait.
Now they're tweaking matchmaking, rank battles. They're updating weapons and all that. So good for the players who constantly play Splatoon. I have sadly stopped playing it. Maybe I'll get back to it.
I've never played it.
You want to borrow it?
Maybe.
I kind of want to skip that because that's going to get into an interesting discussion. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. Let me read you the description. This is going based off of My Nintendo News. Thank you very much. Love following your Twitter account. But there's a description for each of these games. Let me read you Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE's description. Slay monsters and slay like a pop star, all at the same time in this brand new RPG from acclaimed developer Atlas. A sinister force from another dimension has invaded modern-day Tokyo, resulting in a fantastical barrage of style, fashion, music, and, of course, danger. So play to your strengths in high-energy turn-based battles, then fuse items to craft powerful weapons and crush your foes. Around every corner, you'll find fan service, including Fire Emblem references, Original songs by Japanese entertainment giant Avex, dungeons themed after the entertainment industry and eye-catching music performances.
Oh, Jesus
The
Christ.
one-of-a-kind game lands June 24th.
Jesus fucking Christ. You've got to be kidding me.
Never have I seen a promising idea just go downhill that fast.
You seem to be into this way more than I am.
Oh, I am. I'm still gonna play it.
This seems to be right up your alley because you're into that idle shit a billion times more than I am.
I would agree, and I'm under the thought that if the gameplay's good, I can forgive how stupid it all sounds. Like, if I end up having fun with it, I consider it a pass.
See, you don't even like it that much because you know it's stupid, and yet you still like it a billion times more than me because I hate it.
Right, there's definitely tons of hate for this one.
So much hate.
But if you're part of the niche crowd this is for, chances are you'll enjoy it. I still have to play it though. I can't judge it till then.
It's depressing how bad it looks.
I will agree.
I mean, I think everybody, we mentioned this before, I'm sure, but
Right.
everybody wanted Shin Megami Tensei characters crossed with fucking Fire Emblem characters in some kind of ongoing war or something like that, coming together to fight a big evil because the villains have come together, Maybe fucking, that gigantic eyeball from Persona 4 is teaming up with the Grima dragon, and they fuse, and now they're a huge super ultra mega dragon, and now they have to combine their powers and see. That's already a better game in itself, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But nope! Let's go back to Akia fucking Bara and do the same fucking tired cliches, the same fucking tired idle shit, the same fucking tired everything, the same fucking tired gameplay, and not go any further, but just eat up all the stupid, dumb, stupid and dumb.
And this is why I kind of wanted to skip it, but it was still pretty funny.
Okay.
Lost Reavers. This was kind of an out-of-nowhere one. I don't think anybody expected it, but it was kind of just there. I don't think anybody was kind of jumping on the high horse for this one. It was the free-to-play online co-op game for the Wii U.
Oh, I guess so. The Wii U needed one too.
Nintendo 3DS. Kirby Planet Robobot.
Alright, so this is where the argument is flip-flopped. Because I love Kirby games.
No, I wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
I've always loved Kirby games. Kirby has only once disappointed me.
I think it will definitely do well as a Kirby game. I was just afraid as soon as they announced that mech that was just going to be it. Nothing was going to be done with it. But the mech gets abilities too. So there, you've got me now.
You see, Kirby games are like therapy to me. It's gaming zen. Because they're always bright and colorful. They're usually fun to play. It's not too challenging, but if you want 100%, that's where the real challenge comes in. Very, very artsy, great soundtrack, There's a whole lot of just charm and color, and there's a certain vibrancy to everything. I love Kirby games. You kidding me? And Kirby Triple Deluxe is probably my favorite Kirby game now because of one thing it did towards the end that only catered to people like me who played the original Kirby's Dream Land. Who else would think to go in the moon?
Only people who played the original.
Yeah, towards the end, there's two parts where if you go inside of the moon, you're led to a secret Easter egg room that doesn't really hold any sort of treats or any kind of special collectibles you can only get there. But it's still just nice to see. It's like, the only way you would go in there is if you knew about that from the first game. And I'm just glad they put that in there. It made me feel like, thanks. I've been playing Kirby games since kindergarten, and it feels nice to get that kind of appreciation, I guess.
And it's coming out really soon, too. It's coming out in June.
And that's why I continue to buy Kirby games. I even bought Mass Attack.
Mass Attack actually looked really fun when it was being advertised. Is it not good, or?
Huh. How to answer that? It's fun. It's not quite the Kirby game you expect, though.
Well, I think that's good enough.
I'll lend you Mass Attack if you let me Splatoon. There you go.
That'll work.
There you go.
Everybody already knows our thoughts on Metroid Prime Federation Force. And you know what would fix that?
If they didn't release it?
if they took off the name Metroid Prime.
There you
then
go.
there wouldn't be as much hate.
Even if it was just Metroid Federation Forces, so we could still be in the Metro, or like...
In the Metroid universe, but
Yeah.
not Prime.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think that would work, but still getting rid of the Metroid name would still help it a lot. And from what I've seen in actual gameplay, it looks just like a 3D Metroid Prime, just with no Samus and on the 3DS. And that just doesn't appeal to me because I didn't like the 3D Metroids.
Some of the most generic, most garbage, most trashiest character models I've ever seen.
Well, Space Marines.
Yeah, generic Space Marines that look like a college sophomore did it for his 3D tech class. I don't know.
I don't know. It just didn't look fun to me because I don't like the first-person Metroids. Give me a side-scroller one and I'll be fine.
I think Metroid Prime 3 was the best of the first-person Metroids because that was the one I actually beat.
So therefore better.
I also beat Metroid Prime Hunters too, so there's that.
The next one was really exciting for me, Rhythm Heaven Megamix.
I didn't play the original Rhythm Heaven, but
they're
I
so good.
I love Ko Takeuchi's work.
So
He's my favorite artist. Like one of my favorite artists out there. He's very, very good at what he does because he did WarioWare and he did the first Rhythm Heaven. You know,
and that's what it feels like. It feels like a WarioWare game. If you've never played a Rhythm Heaven, just think of WarioWare.
You ever follow him on Twitter?
No.
He just updates random sketches of random characters every now and then. It's
I love that.
He loves that people are looking at his art. I love it. I love his stuff. He's great.
Yeah, and something cool for this Mega Mix is we're actually getting minigames from the Rhythm Heaven that never made it over to the States.
Oh, nice.
So that's exciting for me. I love Rhythm Heaven, and you're a music guy. I think you'd really like Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, I just got to get the Japanese version now.
Monster Hunter Generations.
You know, I can't even crack into Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And they're just dumping 2 more Monster Hunter games on me? Come on.
All dat Monster Hunter.
It's like, I'm not getting into it as much as other people do. It's like, I can see the appeal. I can see that it is definitely a very well-made, very good game, but for some reason it's just not grabbing me as much as it does other people. Maybe because I need a semblance of story to move on, but...
Do you think co-op would help?
Probably. I haven't really done any co-op yet, and that's probably the heart and soul of it, but I'm probably too far under-leveled for anybody to give a damn.
Well, maybe if I get a copy, we can start running through it. We'll defeat all the monsters. We'll go hunting.
Okay. I mean, we can do it online at any time, so it's not like we gotta, get close and link up or anything. No, we can just, hey, you online? All right, let's monster hunt.
Actually, that sounds... Maybe we could make that into a series.
I've already gone a ways in, so we're gonna have to start with yours.
Oh, that's fine.
Because, well, you have the card for it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was thinking maybe we could turn this into a thing, but I have to get the game first, so one step at a time.
Yes.
Disney Art Academy, yeah, cool.
Who gives a shit about this lame garbage?
Yeah, we'll just keep quoting your Twitter. Hyrule Warriors Legends, and let's see, where is it? These packs will also be available for purchase individually in Nintendo eShop in the next few months. A transfer code will allow purchasers who own Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U to use Ganondorf's Trident weapon and play as the 5 new characters from Hyrule Warriors Legends in the Wii U game. And Medley is a free character as soon as the game is released. More Hyrule Warriors, I'm all for that.
I think I might pick up Hyrule Warriors Legends because I said I wouldn't before because I already have Hyrule Warriors, but then I'm noticing I have hardly turned on my Wii U at all. Because my 3DS is getting a workout. It seems like most of the games I give a shit about are appearing on 3DS now, and the stuff that's appearing on Wii U seems gimmicky and childish to me. Most of them, anyway.
Most of them, yeah. So maybe this is a sign. Maybe you need to stick with handhelds.
Well, if I'm doing that, the NX will be up my alley.
I haven't heard much about that, and I actually did want to bring that up at one point, but let me go ahead and finish up the direct here.
Okay.
Bravely Second. Yeah, it's another Bravely Default game. Dragon Quest VII. And I noticed people immediately almost turned on this game, saying that we've completely redone the story to make it like a completely different game. To which everybody goes, oh man, so much for localization. Then they talked a little bit about Fire Emblem and about the DLC that's coming to there. They talked about eShop, Virtual Console, stuff like that. And then that was it. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Dragon Quest VII, $40 for PlayStation on Amazon.
NTSC?
Yeah.
That's probably going to be its price as a 3DS game.
So there you go. You're better off getting that version instead.
Ta-da!
Ah! So can I end this with, well, not end this, but can I throw in one more mobile game that I picked up just this morning?
Sure, and then then I do have one more thing. We'll just take a look at any questions or comments that may have come up.
It's called Stalker Chan and the Chamber of Secrets.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm. I literally did a double take when I first saw it. And it is indeed a game where you play as Mika, who is stalking a boy named Shingo.
Mm-hmm.
It's an endless runner, and you have to do things like avoid his fan club and other students and all that.
Way.
And
No way.
you get enough coins and you get enough hearts, so that way Mika can change into a different costume, which scene plays out where she tries to get closer to Shingo-kun. It is strangely entertaining.
Oh dear. I guess for curiosity's sake.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't pay money for it, did you?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. No, I didn't. It is free to play. You can get it on Android, and I think it's just on Android.
Good, it can keep it. This just shows what Android is capable of. We got a couple comments where last time we talked about virtual reality, Fine Brothers, all that good stuff. And guess what? I just noticed this. Because of the title, we got tagged as a game Fire Emblem Awakening for YouTube Gaming. You know how, especially for Let's Plays, they now YouTube automatically tags it with a game that's being played.
I did notice that, yeah.
Yeah, our last podcast got tagged for Fire Emblem Awakening. But anyway. Somebody thought you were kidding about Google Cardboard, and you weren't.
Nope.
Google Cardboard is a thing that exists.
I might actually pick it up because it's so damn cheap.
You will be the test group. And somebody mentioned or asked us, what are some of the funniest glitches that you found when playing video games?
Funniest glitches.
Well, I always thought the missing no was pretty funny because of the 6th item in your inventory gaining near infinite numbers. I always thought that was funny because in one day, every single Pokemon I had was level 100. So I just breezed through the rest of the game.
I have an entire Let's Play full of favorite glitches. It's called Ride to Hill Retribution.
That is best game. That is the best game.
There's also, in the GameCube version of Sonic Adventure 2, I can set up a character on a ledge in one of the Chow Gardens, and they kind of vibrate between the two altitudes.
Oh my.
That's always funny.
Oh, one really funny glitch is actually when I was playing Sonic 06 for the first time, playing through Wave Ocean, I think it's called. Very first level, I finally get to the end, after multiple deaths where I just fall through the floor. And there is the end ring on a separate island, and you have to go through a bunch of loop-de-loops, gain speed, and then jet off straight into the ring. Well, it didn't work as advertised, and I went all the way around, and I zipped right past the ring into the floor, and I kind of went into the floor as I was leading up to the ring, so I was completely in the ground, should have died, went past the ring, and got the goal. So I somehow lived by clipping through the floor. That game is so fucking broken.
I actually remember a funny glitch. It was when I first played God of War 3 for the first time.
Oh, I can tell you all about glitches in those games.
It was like the first time I really played a game on the PlayStation 3. A friend let me play God of War 3 for a little bit, because, I love the first two. And, immediately when you start, you're on Gaia's back. And, some bad guys come up and start attacking you. Well, I killed him, and I saw where I was supposed to go next. So then I hop over to the fallen stump, and all of a sudden, the camera just flips, and I'm climbing, and I'm just stuck on this log forever.
Whoa.
I was like, well, that was beginner's luck.
Let me tell you about God of War glitches. I've had 2 game-breaking glitches in God of War right near the end of 2 different games. The very first God of War I was trying to beat in one night, and after going to hell, I think you go straight after Ares, and you need to kill him and everything, and his life bar was all the way down, and then he froze in place. He was completely dead, he was frozen in place, but the cutscene didn't trigger when you kill him. So I was stuck there, killing an Ares that would never die, and he just stood there taking all the punishment, and I had to reset the game.
Well, that'd be deep if that's how the game really was supposed to go.
You can't beat the God of War.
It's like no matter what, Kratos just can't kill Ares for good. He's always going to eat away at him. He's always going to be a part of him.
It's a very deep, emotional second ending that I found. But in the first PSP God of War, the exact same thing happened. I tried to kill the final boss, got its health bar all the way down, and it just froze, and I couldn't kill the damn thing. I don't even remember what it was. Kind of blocked it out of my mind. But yeah, I had to reload another save and kill the boss again. Maybe they're not as polished as we all thought.
Well, those are also the PSP God of Wars.
Well, that was the PSP version for the second game that glitched on me. The first game was on the PS2. So glitches abound. I still haven't beaten 3, by the way.
There were 2 God of War games for the PSP. It was Chains of Olympus and Gods of Sparta. They were 2 completely original games by Ready at Dawn.
Right.
The same guys who ported Okami to the Wii.
And got hit by a box art penalty.
Wow.
Which I still have that copy that has the IGN logo on it. Love that Easter egg. I believe that's it. I can't think of any more glitches.
Well, I can, but it's just me raving about Skyward Sword again.
No, don't do that.
2 game-breaking glitches in the same dungeon.
I know there's a glitch where Girahim can throw your sword out of bounds, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, I think just like yesterday, A+ Starch released his Skyward Sword Son of a Glitch. And he's talking about that glitch, and he mentions that very rarely he can throw the sword on the other side of the door, and once that happens, you're screwed. And guess what happened the first time I walked into that fight? Exactly that.
That's hilarious to me.
Still coughing up sputum for it.
Great, now I'm gonna have to keep those coughs in.
Ugh. Another time I was swinging on vines, and apparently when I died, the game put me on an edge that's just slippery enough for me to fall right to my doom again.
You found an infinite kill.
And because the game doesn't take away fall damage when you void out, it just goes on forever.
You were stuck.
I was stuck. I don't like Skyward Sword at all. It's not a good game.
It's been well documented. Saved for years to come, knowing that UDJ hated The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
I just want to play Twilight Princess on GameCube again, just so I can get the taste out of my mouth.
I gotta say, playing Twilight Princess again, it's a 10-year-old game that still holds up. And it's still one of my favorites. And I found out one of the reasons I thought it was so good. I never thought of it back in the day, but coming back to the game, I realized, yeah, this was a reason I really liked it. The inclusion of Midna. She is literally pulling your strings, telling you what to do, and you have a reason to do it. I love that kind of character. I'm like 5 hours into it. It is still fun.
Yeah, it's a good game. But I still think the best version is on the GameCube because it had the controller that just feels right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is what Zelda should have been, you know? Skyward Sword should have been like this.
See, that's why I'm glad the 2 controller options you have for Twilight Princess HD is actually the gamepad or an actual controller gamepad.
Right.
None of that Wiimote and nunchuck stuff.
Yeah. That's why I haven't beaten the Wii version yet.
I don't think I have either. That's so sad.
But the GameCube version, I play that ending like over and over again when I beat it.
God, the ending is so good. Oh, I keep playing it back in my head. It's just, it's a 4-part fight. This is the best part about it, is you use everything. You gotta fight as a human, you fight as the wolf, you fight on horseback, and then it's a final one-on-one sword duel between you and Ganondorf. It is
The
so
one
good.
we've been waiting for 6 years!
So good!
Space World! Space World!
It's all, away from the rest of the world. Zelda can't help you. It's just you and Ganon. He even says, draw your sword. Let's do this like men. He draws his Twilight sword and he's like, let's do this. And then I love how, lightning striking in the background, you hear the thunder, and he draws up his sword as you do too, and then the music starts, the drums of the final battle. It's awesome!
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's 7 out of 10, according to GameSpot, maybe.
That's a bit much for me. I'd probably say about 6.3.
It gets the meh award.
A meh award. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Yeah,
It's all right.
Stunning graphics, intense visual design, dramatic storyline, average.
Average, very average. So what are you working on? Well, this will be what we close out on.
Starting up updates again. I've got... Well, this week, all I've got is Sonic Adventure. Law & Order should be starting up again once I fucked up Law & Order, so I'm gonna wait a bit before I start that up again. But that'll be coming soon. Then I got a special thing coming this week, too. I don't know when that's gonna be.
I know what that is.
You do know what that is.
Yay!
It's gonna be fun.
And me, of course, always Danganronpa 2. It's almost done.
Huh.
But, just takes a while to get there. Ah, crap, I'm gonna have to record. But that'll come for a different time.
Shit, I've got to stream in an hour.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah!
We need to get you to that!
We gotta go!
Alright, well, enjoy your month of March. We'll see you at the end of it.
Alright, and we'll see you for April when we'll...
We're probably never gonna be on time ever again.
Nah. We'll see you on April 15th!
Yeah, there we go. Hopefully I remember that.
The world would not be the same.